Yo.
You are now listening to the smoking section.
Oh yeah.
Where you'll find hot topics.
And fire conversation.
Keep it locked.
You hear me?
Well, hello, wonderful people. How are you doing today? So what is up, everybody? We're back again here on the smoking section with your host, Corpse. Yeah, from Corpse Collection. Y'all know the deal. We out here. I am currently on one freeway, heading up from Key West into Miami. We in Miami, bitch. I'm heading to Miami. I am going to be attending a workshop hosted by some of the Florida Crump movement out here. I got a little battle situation too that I'm gonna be handling. Very, very excited to be out here with the movement. Very excited to be battling. Y'all know me, I'm a battlehead. But the fellowship part is the one that I'm looking forward to the most. I love being able to meet new people, and especially people who share very similar interests like artistry and dance, music, food, weed, all the good shit. Shout out Rogue, aka Girl Striker. Shout out my man Proof. Yeah, Proof is going to be teaching our workshop tonight. And shout out Hart. Yeah, Hart is the one that got me scheduled to battle. He's also the one hosting this workshop and putting on for the movement. And so I give these people their flowers. I wanna say something about that too. We save our flowers for the dead, but why not the living? You know what I mean? Like, let them smell these roses. You feel me? Like, we send so many condolences and fams and, we here for you, blah, blah, blah. Like, once somebody is gone. But why don't we do that while they're here? Why not be there for each other while we're still here on Earth? Like, this earthly realm, this time spent here is very limited, and even though life is long, these days are short. Yeah, so take, you might say, oh, tomorrow, or oh, later. Man, these days are fucking short, bro, and they're only getting shorter. Yeah, so let's find the time, let's make the time, and let's be that person who reaches out and just shows love. Yeah. I spent a lot of time here in Key West just pondering on life and pondering on things such as that. Like, I'm spending a lot of time away from my kids. I'm spending a lot of time away from my family. And it sucks. Yeah, and trying to make the time to be there and be square, it takes a heavy toll. Yeah. So let's make time to be there, not only for our friends, but let's be there for our families, and let's be there for ourselves. Yeah, let's make the time to check in, with self, check in with self, be one with self, and let's take care of ourselves. Yeah. Father's Day is approaching on the date of this recording, and so I want to wish a happy Father's Day to all my fathers out there. Yeah, whether you're with the mother of your children, your wives, girlfriends, if y'all are together, congratulations. That is a feat within itself, and to learn how to parent with somebody and to learn how to be a proper father. A lot of us come up from broken households. A lot of us come up from troubled families. Yeah, my dad was a good man, but he was also a troubled man. By the time he was my age, he had already been divorced and buried a child. He also served in Vietnam, and that will take a heavy toll on your being, on who you are as a person. And so by the time he had me, he had, I was one of 7 living and 8 total, right? So I'm not saying that I got the shit end of the stick, but he was already older. He was already much later into his 40s. And so trying to raise a young baby, when you're 45, 46, 47 years old is kind of like there's a generational separation there. Yeah. And a difference of cultural identities. Yeah. And societal identities. And it was very apparent as I got older the type of lifestyle that my dad came from and the norms and what was acceptable in my life, right? What was acceptable in my time. Victims of circumstance and all that, I understand, but it's still something to learn from. You know what I mean? So us as men, we try to carry on these traditions of being strong men, hard men, for our children to look up to, and girl dads, we deal with the troubles of, our promiscuous nature and the way that we may have treated women, and we want to ensure that that never happens to our daughters. Yeah, so even though we may point at other little boys and say these things, we're really pointing at ourselves. So be patient with yourself, forgive yourself, and if you've never had that and you're, then if the shoe don't fit, don't wear it. But yeah, happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all my single dads out there. We out here just trying to do our best, provide a life for not only our kids, but for ourselves. Yeah. Because it's hard to balance that. Yeah. Like, I've really had to learn and accept that I'm a person before I'm a parent. Yeah. Me being a parent is my responsibility, right? It's my job. But I'm a person first, right? I still have to be happy. I still have to be mentally, healthy. You know what I mean? Because, if I would go to court over my children, that's something that they would question, was my mental capacity and my mental health. If I'm there, you know what I mean, mentally. So make sure that we're good, guys. Make sure that we're good. Make sure that, pray, man. Pray. And if you don't pray, meditate. And if you don't meditate, find time to clear your mind. Dump out all that extra bullshit. Clear out the cobwebs, and realign yourself a little bit. Yeah, remember who we are. Sometimes you got to remember who you are to know who you're going to be. You can't overindulge in the idea of gotta be a good dad. You're a good dad. You're a good dad as long as you're trying. And as long as you're trying and trying your best, there's nothing else anybody can ask of you, right? All you got to worry about is you and God, right? Or if you don't believe in God, just you and this thing that you're trying to rise to. Yeah. There was a topic on the agenda today that me and some of my friends were talking about, and this one's going to get me in trouble. But I don't care. Right? But the midterms of this recent presidential term is coming up, right? We're in the middle of 2022, and Joe Biden fucking sucks. Yeah. We have record high gas prices. We have a media shitstorm that is just bouncing around all over the place. One day everybody was flying Ukraine flags. One day everybody was talking about the war in Russia and the war in Ukraine and all this shit. And next thing you know, we're talking about Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. And now we're talking about school shootings. And we are just bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and bouncing around on these topics of what the fuck, right? Quite frankly, I feel for those in Ukraine. I feel for those suffering there in that country. But I don't believe that the USA should have any involvement. I know that's going to get me in trouble. Do I believe that we should help those who seek refuge? Yeah. Let's assist them. Let's assist them getting out of that country, right? But we have no business over there, right? And I say that because you can't talk about America and school shootings and American health, but then donate all this money to a war effort that we're not physically involved in, right? To arm them, to give them guns against an oppressing force. But in the same breath and within the same sentence, talking about gun control inside of our own country and mental health issues inside of our own country and protecting our children here at home. I am an American through and through, right? Yes, I am Native American, right? I am Native American. So therefore I am American as fuck. Yeah. And I want to protect our borders. Yes. But do I believe refugees and people who are seeking assistance should be able to come here? Absolutely. Yeah. I am not for guys or gals rolling up in a school and shooting the bitch up. I am not for that. But I do believe that it's not only your right, but matter of fact, honestly, your obligation to be able to own and properly fire a weapon, right? I think as American citizens, once we hit a certain age, we should all be damn near forced to own a pistol, to know how to clean that pistol, disarm that pistol, and also fire that pistol. We should be able to protect ourselves and protect our children. My son is going to be entering school soon, right? Me and his mother is talking about, sending him to pre-K this year. And I get very nervous. I get very scared. And I don't like shit that scares me, right? I try to conquer my fears. But the one thing that scares me the most, and this is an actual fear, is what can happen to him when I'm not around. When I put him into the possession and in the care of another person, right? And in a school system that's torn, we can't even get to a consensus of what these fucking teachers should be teaching our children, right? And now we're trying to put Elijah in a private school because I have given up all hope for the public school system. Even though my taxes go towards it, I don't give a fuck about it anymore. Yeah, I don't need my son learning about sexual preferences. I don't need him learning about, all these different shit that they're teaching in schools these days, right? I came from a school where we stood in a line and prayed over our lunch every day. Before we left our classroom, we said a prayer. Now, I'm not saying everybody should be Christian. I'm not Christian. But there was something about getting uniformity amongst the children. Yeah. And, people say, oh, well, it's programming and, oh, you're just teaching. Well, yeah. That's why we say the Pledge of Allegiance. Yes. It's patriotic programming. Yes, it is. And I think that's fucking amazing. I think it's great because we are Americans, right? Before I go too far on this tangent, I want everybody to know that I respect Mexican culture and I respect African culture and I respect all these things, right? Irish culture, Italian culture. But if we're here in America, if you have citizenship here in America, if you were born here in America, we should put America first, right? You clearly made a choice to choose America over your own home country, right? You said, oh, it's safer here, or oh, I have better opportunity here, or oh, there's better this here. So you clearly made a choice. So let's respect that choice, right? Our country also made a choice. Our people also made a vote to allow these type of privileges, right? My people could have gotten slaughtered off, but we were allowed reservations to where our people could live there. Is it the best situation? No. Do I wish it ever happened? No. But you know what? We lost. And I can admit that. My people lost, we were conquered, and this is the provisions that we have. So I make the most out of it. Right? So our country is in a very, very weird spot. And if we're not careful, we will see things that happened. And we'll see things happening in our country that also happened in Germany many years ago. Right? The left is pushing for socialism. The right is pushing towards nationalism and fascism. And before you know it, those two swinging sides will collide, right? And there will be an agreement. And the next thing you know, you'll have National Socialism. That is what bred the Nazi Party, right? So beware these separations of powers. Beware the separation of these powers. It's what George Washington warned of when he first became president, right? We need to make sure that we can continue to have discussion, honest discussion, thorough discussion, polite discussion on how to address these issues of mental health, gun control, right? And our involvement in wars across the pond. We have bigger issues, I believe. We have bigger issues here at home that require our attention. Gas prices, groceries, mortgages, rent. Like, it is insane that a few years ago, let's say 7 years ago, that if I was making $20 an hour, $21 an hour, that was good fucking money. That was enough money to provide an apartment for myself and to provide, to provide a certain life of decency, of modesty, right? $20 an hour is what they're starting that's what they're starting people at Target on. That's fucking insane. $20 an hour was generally reserved to some type of a trade work or above, or specialized skill, right? But now you got guys at McDonald's making that type of money. Now, mind you, I believe that everybody should be paid a fair wage, that everybody should be paid a livable wage, right? But what's a livable wage? Let's unpack that a little bit. I don't believe a livable wage means that you're able to go to EDC and first class plane tickets and drive a fucking Rolls Royce. That is not a livable wage. That is a luxury wage. A livable wage to me is you can pay for an apartment, right? Your little studio apartment. You have enough money for a $250 car payment, $300 car payment. Your insurances, right? And gas, electric, and all that, right? You have enough to cover your bills, cell phone bill. Because there's no such thing as landlines anymore. And you can't apply for a job unless they can call you back, right? So cell phones and phones, telecommunications are almost a necessity. Internet is a necessity of today's time. We don't do paper applications anymore. Right? So we have to figure out this way to make that all accessible to everyone for their success, right? Before, you could walk up to the factory, you put in a paper application, you can go back the next day and say, hey, my name is Ronald Andrade. I just dropped a government. I need a job, or I applied yesterday. I was wondering if it had made it to the manager, right? Or your foreman, or whatever. But in today's time, you submit an electric resume. It's then put into an electric folder that's sent off to the manager, hiring managers, so on and so forth. So I believe that more of our money should be put towards that. More of our resources and efforts should be put towards setting our future up for success. I'm already 30 years old, right? My future is already dwindling, right? Yeah, I still got a lot of life to live. But I'm more worried about the people half my age, the 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds. They are the future. They haven't even experienced life yet. So let's put forth the effort to make sure that they have the best life possible. Are you living the best life possible? Right? Because if you're not, if you could have envisioned a better life for yourself, let's start at where we made the mistakes, where we zigged, where we should have zagged, where we should have said yes, where we said no, where we should have said no when we said yes. Let's start there. Let's look at our own mistakes, not dwell. Not dwell, but act. Let's act on them. I know this rant went a little crazy, but it started off with this. We're putting our focus on things that, yes, matter. But should they be priority number one? No. Our priority is our people, our clan, our tribe, right? Charity starts at home. And if our home isn't good, back like how I was talking about fathers and Father's Day, if we aren't good, how can we help anyone else? I'm in Key West, Florida, where they have some of the cheapest gas prices. Florida has some of the cheapest gas prices that I've ever known. Ever. And it's already hitting $5 out here. This is fucking insane. I go to the grocery store and I pull out a calculator. I've never had to do that. And I mean, I'm not buying fucking tomahawk steaks. I'm not buying ribeyes and filet mignons to eat for myself. So that is fucking insane. We need to correct this and we need to fix it. Yeah, because before long, people will be starving. Before long, people will not be able to afford their homes. And then at the same token, are wanting to disarm people. I know what that is. I know what you're doing. Government, I see what you're trying to do. I won't say it. I'll let you guys put the pieces together on that. I don't want to get banned off of Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. You like that? You like how I plugged that? This drive to Miami has been a good one. I'm still on my way. I've been talking y'all's ears off. Yeah. So I'm going to skedaddle out of here. Check me out, man. Check me out. Hit me up if you guys have any ideas of what y'all want me to talk about. My name's Corpse. That's KORPSX. Hit me on Instagram. Slide in those DMs. Y'all know the drill. You know what we doing out here. We getting fucking jiggy with it. Yeah? Hit me in my DMs if y'all want to hear a topic or if you want a shout out. If you have a business or something you guys want me to promote for you, just let me know. We out here. I will be of service. What be thy bidding? Yeah? Until next time, I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you have an amazing week, month, year, and life. Until next time, I'll see all of you on the flip side. Stay motivated out there. Bang, 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 bang.